Welcome to Rory Games. Let's play Civilization V R.E.D. Revived mod. This is a total conversion mod that turns Civilization V into a pretty historically accurate World War II battlefield. In this campaign, we're commanding France. It began in July of 1939. It's now December, and we are currently under German attack all along the Maginot. Let's see if we can zoom in here. So far, the Germans haven't made really any progress. They've been beating their heads against my impenetrable forts. You can see I have defense in depth over here. Primarily infantry garrisoning the forts, and then I have armor backup. My erstwhile ally Britain has decided to charge headlong into the German advance with his, what are those, Matildas? They are Matilda 2s. So we will see how that goes for them. Obviously, at this point, I am not planning a major offensive into Germany, but let me just kind of walk you through my strategic goals here and the overall strategic plan. Throughout this year, 1939, and really all of 1940 as well, I will concentrate on holding the Maginot as well as counterattacking in the Low Countries and either holding or recapturing Brussels and Amsterdam. So you can see I'm starting to assemble my forces there. Concurrently, once Italy joins the war, I'm going to start a small offensive here in northern Italy to draw in some forces and provide a buffer zone around Nice. While I do that, I'll send some, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to afford paratroopers. Copy. If not, I will just send normal infantry. I'm going to capture Cagliari here. And Cagliari, what is that? No, this is Sicily. So that's Sardinia and Corsica. Capture Cagliari and then move on to Sicily and capture Palermo and Catania. The hope there is that I will cut off Italy from North Africa, or at least make it very difficult for him to reinforce. He'll have to leave out of the Adriatic, because I'll also have Reggio Calabria under some sort of blockade or something. So while I capture those islands, I'll be slowly building my Mediterranean forces, and the goal will be to inflict as much damage as possible on the Italian Navy, to also prevent their kind of command of the Med. At this point, they actually are much larger than me, but the good news is in the Atlantic, in the English Channel, in the North Sea, I can count on Great Britain. I will help out a little bit here and there, but most of my forces my naval forces, I will focus on securing the Mediterranean. I have colonies here. I'm going to continue to defend as best as possible while building colonial infantry. Let's go ahead and move my legionnaires into Tunisia in anticipation of an Italian drive through Tripoli. Here are the Italians, ensconced safely in Tobruk, and I'm over here in Palmyra. So I am expecting some action here eventually. I cannot remember historically what happens if there's some sort of local uprising or if the Italians land troops. Plus there's the wild card of, what happens if Great Britain just collapses in Egypt. I'll have to send forces to help my ally. So that's the plan throughout 1940. Obviously, things are subject to change, as they quite often do in war. However, in 1941, I envision a major push through northern Italy to capture its industrial heartland of Genova, Bologna, and Milan. And then I will do my best to get Venice as well and open up an avenue into Germany through the Alps. And I'm not super optimistic that this will lead to much. However, I do believe it will effectively knock Italy out of the war for all intents and purposes. We can establish defensive line here north of Florence, very similar to what the Germans did after the Allied invasion of Italy. And just depending on how things go, even perhaps make a drive on Rome. But eventually I will need to capture Rome, right? Let's check. So I do need to capture Rome, Naples, Milan, and Bologna. So I'll have Milan and Bologna locked up, and then I can drive south to capture Rome and Naples. While all that's going on, Germany will be entangled with the Soviet Union, which I'm hoping will be inflicting massive damage on them. And at that time, I'll start a slow. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna concentrate on the left flank here. So if I'm holding this line through the Ardennes, then I'll do small infantry pushes into the Rhineland here, and then push some armor into the open spaces here north of Essen. We'll concentrate on knocking out Essen and Cologne, similar to northern Italy, as you can see with all these factories. This is Germany's main industrial area. All right, so enough of the overview. That's the plan. We'll see how it actually proceeds once the war really heats up. It's December, so we aren't expecting the German invasion until May or June. All right. Okay, so they're attacking primarily by air, lots of bombing. Looks like the Panzers, Panzer III, Panzer IV, looks like on the southern Maginot is attacking. None too effectively, I might add. They are, hitting entrenched infantry in these forts, so what I can do is just kind of rotate through infantry as they get depleted. You'll see that I'm primarily purchasing units. I do build some, and I expect to build a lot more in the later years, but right now my cities are focused on producing factories and banks and specialty buildings like that, arsenals, barracks, in order to conduct a long-term war. I just don't have the industrial capacity at the moment. Okay, so we've got some experience. Our fighters are doing, they're doing an okay job here. I'm impressed. You'll see that the Luftwaffe is primarily concerned with bombing for some reason, Mulhouse and Metz. I can understand that they are near the front line, so the AI is concentrating there, but strategically they're not. You can see they're not producing much for me, and I don't ever expect them to, so they can keep doing that. We've got personnel, gold, personnel, material, personnel. So my colonial lifelines continue to produce. Okay, let's see, we'll go rough. Rough. And rough. Okay, let's see, 58, 54. I think I can. Let's see, do I have any projects? I do. So I have the 25mm half track. Let's definitely get that up. AMR 35. This is like an anti-tank gun vehicle, rather. Let's get that up. Let's not build the paratrooper. I don't know what I'm thinking. I would love to have it in the Mediterranean, but I think there's just more pressing needs right now. Speaking of which, let's buy proper infantry. Alright, let's get them promoted. Rough. We'll put them right in Metz in order to drive and hold the Ardennes. Alright, we have a U-boat here. Let's hit him. Okay, I was hoping for a little more damage there. Let's bring up the battleship. Oof. Not much there either. Okay, come on, British Navy. Show us why you rule the seas. Take out that U-boat. Let's see, do we have any others? I think at this point, is that my only destroyer in the Atlantic? Alright, he's engaged over here in the North Sea. Let's pull him out, bring him back into the Atlantic. I think after this battle, I'm going to send this cruiser into the Mediterranean, and I may send one of those destroyers as well. In fact, I almost definitely will. Okay, let's get these guys. Guard the channel, and I'm not sure why the British AI deems the English channel not strategically important enough to defend with its naval forces, so I will have to do it for them. Okay, so, speaking of naval forces, I do need another big battleship down in the Mediterranean, as well as at least a couple more cruisers and U-boats. Excuse me, submarines. Like I said, the Italian Navy is rather large at the moment. I do have the game on D&D. Again, I spoke a little bit about this in the opening episode. I'm not sure how much that affects the game. Whatever, more gold, cheaper buying, whatever it is that D&D means. Some of those players are my allies. So Russia, Great Britain. I would assume if the D&D applies to the Axis, it also applies to the allies. Okay, so we've got oil, yay, personnel, gold. We've got a new project. Let's go, speaking of project, let's check some things out here. So we've got arsenal. I need to get that shipyard going. I need some barracks as well. I need to boost my personnel reserve. Okay, so let's reprioritize these a little bit. I'm actually okay with oil, so let's kill the refinery. Let's make shipyard priority, then we'll finish up that arsenal. We'll get up the barracks, we'll build the bank, and then we can start building units. It's important that I continue to build banks before I get into building units, simply because gold is so important to my strategy. I'm buying so many units and will continue to buy so many units. Let's see, howitzer. Let's get that barracks built after the howitzer. And then we'll get, I think I might concentrate on building 25mm half tracks. Well, could still use some old-fashioned anti-aircraft. Let's try that queue for a while. Alright, let's see what I have here going on. Saint-Nazaire. Let's get a bank going in there as well, and then we'll get the shipyard going. Same with Cherbourg. The bank. Okay, Dunkirk's doing barricades. What's Paris got? Let's just keep giving them designs. They'll be with the military mind. We'll have them garrison Metz. Okay, we've got a promotion. More rough, please. My units are going to be indomitable in the forest, in the rough terrain. Alright, where'd that sneaky little U-boat go? First things first, let's send you to the Med. Okay, increasing our presence in the Mediterranean. Let's scout up here with the U-boat. Make sure he didn't go south. He did not. Did he escape out this way? Maybe the British actually killed something for once. Wouldn't that be nice? Let's send this destroyer. Let's leave this destroyer here, actually. For now. If I'm feeling safer from U-boat attack, then I shall send one of those destroyers to the Mediterranean. Definitely can't send both, as much as I will likely need them in the battle with Italy. Okay, so we've got Messerschmitts running dogfight attacks, clearing the way for their bombers. They're bombing with their Henkels and their Stukas. Metz Mulhouse once again, attacking the fortifications all along the Maginot. I'm assuming the AI is choosing the city targets for the Henkels and the Stukas based upon how much damage they can inflict, because while they may not produce as much damage. Oh yeah, can you tell I've played this game a lot as Germany? Ooh, we got the Samua. It's another anti-tank gun, I believe. Let's have a look. Yes. Okay. I like that. Designed for attacking fortified positions. We'll need that in the later game, but let's get it on the list. Okay, we've got some more experience. Nice. So my interceptors are doing a pretty good job. You can see they're not taking much damage, which is nice. The Luftwaffe is not doing a good enough job of clearing the skies for its bombers. It could run a lot more air superiority runs. So we'll keep these guys on intercept. Let's see, Lyon. Okay, we'll get the... Well, let's kill the hospital for now, because that's something we'll want a little later. At the moment, our personnel replacement rate is actually quite good. It's our personal storage that I'm concerned about. Let's get started on some fighters. We've got this fast bomber, heavy fighter, Potez 630, 45, oil consumption 8, range 12, 45, 44, less fuel consumption, less range, one less range strength, basically the same amount of production time, 390 versus 380, shorter range. I don't like that. 36, yeah, so this is like the old 5. Let's get a Potez going. So that's good at intercepting bombers. Okay, that's good. So we'll definitely need some of those. And this one is more of will run better air superiority runs. So let's. What am I researching again? Am I researching fighters? Okay, this is a bomber. This is a bomber. Those will be important soon. So let's go ahead and add this guy. Okay, so I have 2 different fighters, an interceptor and a dogfighter. And they will likely both get stationed in the Mediterranean. I'll need air support as I make this lunge into Sardinia and Sicily. Boy, I hope that's Sardinia. Right, so let's check our notes here. We got oil, and yes, that design. So we'll hold off on that design for now. Let's see, we've got a fort. I like how they make the fort icon as a settler. I wonder if that's just some sort of bug I got when installing it. Rough. Okay, more experience, more interception, please. And going to Palmyra. So we have developed, an barracks, lovely, exactly. So we want them to start cranking infantry. Basically, the idea here is to defend Palmyra against any attacks and to build up enough of a reserve that I can actually go help out Great Britain and North Africa, if need be. Something tells me need will be. Okay, let's send the sub back down to the kind of guard the Casablanca, Gibraltar, Rabat corridor. Okay, let's see. Messerschmitts. They're hitting them, taking some damage, that's for sure. But I'm recovering enough that it's not causing too many problems yet. But eventually, the German air superiority, I'm assuming, will start to tell. At least early game, as the Brits continue to build up their forces. So if they can keep hammering those cities, that's going to help out a lot. Okay, let's set up here. I'm not seeing any more U-boats out here. Might have been successfully driven back. Let's pull this sub through the channel and get this battleship out into open seas and bring this cruiser in for repairs. We'll have a nice little mini battle group right here with a battleship cruiser and my sub. Okay, let's go see what's happening up north. Alright, more. Yes, we'll take rough. So you can see here that this Panzer IV is taking a beating, as well as the Panzer III trying to get across. Not happening today, Hitler. Okay, what do we got? Ah, yes. So what I'm going to do is basically just start sending these destroyers up and down. Looking for U-boats, and then I think if a few turns go by and I haven't seen any, and the battles against the Germans over here go well, then I think I'll pull that other destroyer out and just leave one running convoy protection. Because, my goodness, look at all these British units. Okay, more Messerschmitt runs. It looks like they've got one Messerschmitt that's doing a pretty good job, and one that's able to stand up against and provide just as much damage as they are doing to me. Looks like they've got a bunch of experience on the other one, though, is what I'm guessing. And that is, in the long run, what really tells in this game. If you can get decent equipment, it doesn't have to be. Alright, let's see how we're doing. Alright, we got some personnel. We're going to get some more oil. If we hit our oil stockpile limit, nope, we've got a little bit more to go. It's nice, though. I really want to top off on that before Italy joins the war and Germany makes their big push through the Ardennes and the Low Countries. Okay, let's go engage in some battle. Crap. Thought I had a move left to attack. I do not, and I ran into a sub. Yo, what are you about? Good news is I've got a whole bunch of buddies here to help out. Okay, all is quiet along the Belgian front. Let's go ahead and purchase infantry. Get them. Yeah, let's cover. Let's start giving these guys cover as well, because you know the Luftwaffe will be on it. So we'll send those guys there. So that's my 3 divisions through the Ardennes. Yeah, we'll keep the field gun over here, hidden for now. Why don't we go ahead and move this armored division over? I mean, This is what I'm going to be doing with it anyway. We'll take the B1 out of reserve. I know it's still early. I have, what, 5 months until they invade, but let's just get ready. I don't want to forget. Okay, that's the howitzer. So the howitzer I'm going to want eventually for attacking, yeah, these cities down here. So let's get them in a boat. What we've also got to do is start sending, I think, at least 2 infantry divisions here to Corsica in order to get ready, prepared for the invasion of Cagliari. So 42, 30. I think we can hold our own out here with sub providing cover, and then I can move up this battleship and blockade Cagliari. And at the same time, I can swing around this cruiser to provide some flank protection on the battleship. And then once that other cruiser gets down there, I can have them join up with this 2 destroyers in that cruiser. And what they're going to do is harry the Italian fleets, as well as potentially blockade Rome and provide blockade to Genova as well, and maybe even hit some land units. We'll see. Okay, so pretty much the same from Germany. Attacks along the Maginot, bombing Metz, Mulhouse. They seem content to do that throughout the winter. Okay, just wound their units out on the seas, and then when they retreat back to port for repairs, if I can't kill them outright in the seas, then I go blockade that port so that they can't leave. So even though they are repairing, they're effectively useless because they can't join the combat. Okay, so let's get this cruiser here. What do I have in port? I have another battleship. Is that so? 4250. So this is what I want. Running blockade on Cagliari. Which is nice. So that frees up this guy. Smaller battleship to join the big battle. So I think I can pull back the destroyer a little bit, and then he'll pop out. Just get a look at their force disposition. Really not much going on down here. I guess they're probably reinforcing North Africa, right? Getting ready to join that fight. Okay. So finish this design, the Brigade 690. Let's see what that does for me. Okay, it's a light bomber, range 12, strength 40, consumption 8. 1248. What the hell is the difference? 23. This costs 400. This costs 420. This is versus gun, land, and sea. I see. Okay. This is just land and sea. Plus 50 land, plus 50 sea. It's funny, the cost is higher here, yet it takes less time to build. Plus 50 land, plus 50 sea. Plus 125 gun, plus 100 land, plus 33 sea. Okay, so we want one of each of these. I think this one will be good, the Mediterranean, and this one. And this one, the Amiot against Germany. Wait, the Amiot in the Med, and the Brigettes. Cities, fighters. Okay. Yeah, we want this one. Guns and land. fighting either in northern Italy or along the Maginot. Alrighty, well, that is about all the time we have for today. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.